Alright, today we will discuss some of the answers to the questions from homework 6. The first question is question number 7. It says the price is given by the formula -1 over 9x plus 200. And the first thing you want to do is find the revenue function. Well, the revenue is equals to the number of items you sold multiplied by the price. Also we say XP, like the old Windows operating system. And so since I already have the price, P equals -1 over 9x plus 200. To find the revenue, I simply multiply both sides by x. X times P equals the revenue, and that gives me -1 over 9x squared plus 200x. And so that is your revenue right here. To find the domain of the function, what they actually mean is for a reasonable business, what's the domain of that function going to be? Well, a reasonable business will not operate when they have a negative revenue. If you're selling items, you're not bringing negative money. And so, first things first, if you make a little sketch of the graph, you will note that the graph actually opens downwards. And so the graph should look something like this. And so the domain of the graph will run from here to here, because that's when the graph has a positive revenue up here. And so therefore I have to find the x-intercepts to find the domain of this function. And so I'll go -1 over 9x squared plus 200x equals 0. Notice that they both have x in common, so I can factor out an x, and that gives me -1 over 9x plus 200 equals 0. And so then that tells me either that x equals 0 from the outside term, or a -1 over 9 times x plus 200 equals 0. And then I got to take that 200 over. And so I have -1 over 9x equals -200, and then I multiply by the reciprocal. So I multiply by -9 over 1 times -9 over 1, and I get 1800. X equals 1800. So that means that this x-intercept here is 1800, and this x-intercept right here is 0. And so my domain will be that x, such that x is between 0 and 1800. Alright, what is the revenue if 200 units are sold? So I think this is part C. What is the revenue of 200 units? This one you need a calculator, but that just means plugging it into it. So you'll have R of 200 equals -1 over 9. Use the revenue function, so that's going to be 200 squared plus 200 times 200, and that they say round to the nearest hundredth. You need a calculator. It will be 35555 0.56, a result of dividing by 9 in this case. Alright, so that's right here. Number D, what quantity maximizes the revenue? What quantity? What quantity X maximize the revenue? To maximize the revenue, if I go back to the graph right here, I need to be at the apex of the graph. This apex is known as the vertex. the x coordinate right here that maximize the vertex comes from the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry has a formula, and that formula is that x is equal to minus b divided by 2a. And so to find the x that maximizes the revenue, I have to go ahead and I have to solve this problem right here. So this will be equals to x is equals to the opposite of b, so that's negative 200 divided by 2 times a negative 1 over 9. Now this simplifies to 200 divided by negative 200 divided by negative 2 over 9, because you think of this as 2 over 1 and you multiply. And of course the minus signs cancel, so that's 200. I'm going to write it this way, divided by 2 over 9. And of course, instead of dividing by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. So I put this as 2 over 1. I multiply it straight across. 200 times 9 is 18 divided by 2, which gives me 900 units. It will take 900 units to maximize the revenue. And to find the maximum revenue, I take this 900 and I plug it into the function. So what is the maximum revenue? You simply plug it in, and so you plug in 900, so that is R of 900, the revenue at 900, which is going to be negative 1 over 9 times 900 squared plus 200 times 900, and that will equal $90,000. Woohoo! This is the most that the company can make. And so then the question is, what price should the company charge to maximize the revenue? So the question is, what price? So what price should they charge to maximize the revenue? Well, we know that the revenue is equal to the number of units multiplied by the price. So if I divide by x, the price you should charge is equal to the revenue divided by the number of units. The maximum revenue is 90,000. The number of units that get you to that maximum is 900. And so you should sell them for $100 each. And that will give you the price that maximizes the revenue.